The market is showing you a mix of green and red. The market is still consolidating. Looking at different assets, you still will have confusion if you are not looking them on the macro perspective. And then you need to look at the current affairs and what you see in the market. So right now you see a lot of different news popping out and you would have questions, okay, what really is happening? So when you see the giants entering into this space and they are doubling down on this one, and at a time where there are some issues moving into the crypto side of it, but still giants are doubling down on this. So that's like the scary stuff. The picture visualized for the masses is coming a little bit negative, and at the same time you see giants moving into the market doubling down, and then this pops up, right? We are rebuilding the infrastructure for global financial system, and we knew this from a long time, and it's happening there. So they are still recruiting, increasing their brain power. So if you don't know why that's important, you definitely don't know investing. Now you do have to look at different perspectives in the market. You do have to look at the BTC dominance, altcoin market cap, and what it's doing if you are in a lot of altcoins. Then look at Bitcoin, because that's kind of the market sentiment. If that's breaking to the upside, MACD is pointing to the upside, you're gonna get a bullish stuff, but not right now. It's a 3-day chart and you're still at that support zone. So yes, you do have to understand the market. Precisely for XRP, this is what we are looking at. And yes, we need to understand what that trend shows us and what are the possibilities, right? So let's go through and dig through it. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. Guys, I couldn't actually do a video in last 5 days. I'm sorry about that. Something personal came up. I'm a PhD student, so I'm nearing my thesis, that kind of stuff, and I just turned 30 last day. So, a little bit of personal stuff there, but I'm sorry about that. We won't be taking that much of a long gap. And now let's actually dive into these and understand what really is happening, right? Both technically and fundamentally. When a country says we are going to go all in on Bitcoin, we're going to do this as a currency, and now they're talking about their own stable coin, what can you understand from that? It's so basic, right? It's for everyone will understand. Okay, they were actually going to use this as a currency, and right now they understand, okay, yeah, even though it's written as a peer-to-peer currency in its white paper, it doesn't actually seems to behave like one. The friction in payment, the cost impacted in each payments, the energy consumption to validate that payment, everything is increasing. So they are moving on for their stable coin so that they can reduce these stuff and still say Bitcoin is a currency, because that's kind of acting as a store of value, kind of replacement for gold kind of stuff. Whatever it is, this is the reality for payments. And when we say the energy requirement, it is real, right? The reality is something like this, and I don't know the legitimacy of this video, but looking at this, it's not moving well. Nations which is going through kind of blackouts, they are now stepping back. They are like, okay, we don't need this stuff. Proof of work doesn't work. They even show that they are kind of crushing through this. Now think about this as you look at the market and you see, okay, negative news are popping through, but the likes of Google, the likes of Amazon, the big guys in investments, the big guys in business are stepping in. And what do you think? When Google, when Amazon is going into this technology, they're going to adopt this, use this for their own purpose. Other corporates and the giants will also step in. Now, it won't be in a day as we talked, but it's happening. Now, as we see this kind of negative stuff coming into the crypto market, because not everyone understands which asset is from the proof of work, which is from proof of stake, there are a lot of different mechanisms. Say XRP is consensus protocol, and you do have to understand that it's different for XRP. It's not directly a blockchain, but it's something similar to a blockchain. So if you haven't through the white paper for it. Now you will understand what we are talking about. But understand, when you get these negative news from around the crypto space, you are seeing adoption in the other end. So the price is being kicked down and people are buying on it. Now, why is this technology so important? Because we are all moving into central bank digital currency, and again, this is just the digital version of fiat, right? Digital dollar, digital euro, digital yuan. So whatever it is, imagine euro is going to be transferred into USD. Now you can speculate they would be using some kind of stable coin backed by euro or backed by dollar at that point. Fine. But what if you're looking at China, Russia, North Korea, and other countries, Iran, Turkey, and others? I don't think they're going to use a stable coin backed by dollar at that point. And US and others will not be comfortable using a stable coin from the other side of it, right? So that's why you need a neutral asset. And the requirement for that is not just the speculation. That's the truth. That's the reality. Now, let's look at the Bitcoin dominance here. What do you see in this Bitcoin dominance chart? Look at the RSI. It's giving you a bull flag. We discussed through that when we had it, and we broke to the upside. We are still moving to the upside. We came a little bit down. Now we are pumping back. So look at the price. It's above the moving average. Right now, it's about the 20-day moving average. It's testing that resistance with the moving average. So as it moves high, that's bullish in the Bitcoin dominance. Now, at the same time, you have to look at the MACD on a 3-day. It's going to the downside. Now, will it cross to the downside or will it bounce? If it's bouncing from there, you're going to get a movement here, which is going to go through this resistance, or at least get into this resistance zone first. Now, what does that mean for all coin market cap or the Bitcoin price itself? That push to the upside can show you that the Bitcoin is crossing to the upside on MACD. RSI breaks the trend to the upside. Now, that's just speculation from my end, because as of now, we are inside this trend. So if we are breaking to the upside, volume is coming back in and the price should go back. Now, I'm not saying we are going to 60, 100 or above. I'm saying 50, 55, 58 range is possible. We would slowly grind up, retest that area, drop, go up, drop. So that kind of consolidation is possible, because at that time you're going to see all coins moving in wave 2, because that break will also allow certain coins in this market to move higher. Because recently, if you are looking at the market, you will understand not every coin is in red. Some of the coins are moving. Some coins moved in the last couple of weeks. Say NEM, we actually got it, right? It went through, and in the last 7 days, when the market is in red, it went through 34%. Now, if you look at all these other coins and you understand, okay, that is having a little bit of fundamental, and the liquidity and volume, daily traded volume looks fine, and you're going in, you kind of get this opportunity, right? So right now, the altcoin market cap is at a support. And if it's actually bouncing, it has a lot of room in the RSI. As you see the trend here, it stays at the bottom, the support, and then bounces towards the resistance. So now the chances are high that it could bounce towards this region. Now, look at the MACD. What will the MACD do when the price is bouncing to the upside, or RSI or the strength move to the upside? If people are going to come into the market, that means you're going to actually see that stuff is going to move to the upside, and MACD is going to cross to the upside. Now that, with respect to XRP, means we are going to follow the trend. Now, I don't know how many of you heard this, but trend is your friend if you're trading. Trend is your friend to know the direction of your investment. If you're going to invest in something and you know that the macro scale is to the upside, you're buying it. Right? So this is the macro trend. Just look at the RSI, where it is, MACD, what it's showing you, and the price fluctuation, the pattern itself. So here you can clearly see we kind of bounced from this support. This was a support, we bounced. Again, we came back down, we bounced. We came back down, we bounced. Now this one, yes, we went below this, but we didn't go much lower. Now, that was the time when we had the SEC case, the issues related to SEC. And there was a lot of bloodbath in the thought process, and that impacted in the price. Why? Crypto is not like the real other investment side where you see a lot of traditional investors, financially mature guys. Here in crypto, you see a lot of youngsters with a little bit less financial maturity. So what happens when they hear negative news? Panic. They're going to go down. They're going to sell. When they get some kind of bullish news, most of them are going to sell their house, car, whatever they can, and put the money in this. That's not the right perspective. Say, when we go down, when you have the correction and you reach a support, that's when the wise guys buy. But the thing is, say when the price came here, you bought in. But what happens? You need to wait through this till here to take the profit. Again, you're buying here and you have to wait till here to take the profit. Now you go back to this time and see what we were discussing. We were literally on those red days. We were literally discussing what's the possibility, right? We were not among them who says, okay, I don't know whether XRP is going to have a bull run. I'm going to step back, blah, blah, blah. We were still in it and we were still looking at the market and understanding the technicals, even zooming into a hourly chart, 4-hour chart and all. And we stood there and took profit at 1.9. So that was kind of like not the actual top of 1.99, but we still were able to do that. Why? Because we follow the price on a regular basis. Now, at the same time, you see this. The price is at the bottom, at the support. Now, people ask, okay, do you actually see this green crossing the yellow? What do you think about that? And I'm like, yeah, I do see that. But last time we had that, we bounced to the upside. Again, we had that, we bounced to the upside. So if the trend continues, I'm not worried about that because usually it goes to the downside, it crossed to the downside and then bounced to the upside. So if the price is at the support, RSI is at the support, MACD is supporting, that's not a bad deal. What we are going to look at is the bounce. Last time when we made this pattern, we went to the downside. We capitulated. Then we're still making the same pattern. So right now, what you have to understand is, will the MACD cross to the downside or will the MACD move upside, meaning a bounce? So let's actually look at the real-time chart. On a weekly, you can see that you come back to the 50-day moving average and then bounce. So right now, on a weekly, you're at 50-day moving average and that's acting as a support. I'll see that's like 0.56. Now, last time we wicked, we actually went to 0.51. But right now, the possibilities shows that, yeah, the time just passed and the moving average just moved higher. So that's like 0.54 towards 0.55, 0.56 is your support. Now, keep that into account and look at the RSI. You can just take a horizontal line. You can just plot it here and see what's literally happening. Are you grinding higher or not? Like I'm dropping each of the line to show you the rising support levels. So right now we are still grinding to the upside. We are still at these points. So the RSI is showing you the trend higher. Now, yes, the pattern looks a little bit of mixed. It's confusing, but understand at this point when you look at the support resistance and extend that one, you see this. It was a support range, resistance range for a long time. Look at in the bear market, you actually came down, you bounced from the 50-day moving average, you went through that, it was a bear market, you went about, retested that range and then got rejected. So in a bull market, what do you anticipate? Yeah, we're going to go through, we're going to bounce, we're going to go through, we're going to bounce. So that's not a huge stuff. If you even have 2 or 3 times food a day, now you have a basic cognitive ability to look at this and say, okay, that's an opportunity, because the altcoin market cap, when you zoom in, shows you this clearly, right? You can take off all of this and just look at what do you see. That's a lot of volatility. What do you see? That's a lot of long wicks on a 4-hour. Now, this is not a little volume stuff. We are talking about the entire altcoin market, the average of it, and you see the stuff. We're coming back to that trend line. We're being rejected. Right now, we are closing in. So if the trend is still your friend, what you're looking at here is the price moving to the upside, the MACD crossing to the upside and getting congested there, with the volume turning in positive here. And you zoom in, what you see with the price is that the price is moving to the downside. Fine. So what's literally happening there? That means you're getting a bullish divergence. So now you can literally say, okay, this is having a chance that it may cross positive. Now, why do we say that? Because you can literally see a rounded bottom then with this pattern. Now, that's a cup and handle. Now, if you are not familiar with that, you can just go to Google and type in cup and handle pattern. Now, most of them are not familiar with patterns, and they are not actually looking at this. They don't want to look at this. So this is what you see. It's like a cup and handle as it is said, right? You come back, you see this. So again and again, it's like you go in the charts, it shows you stuff historically noted as some pattern, and afterwards this happens. So do you want to be a part of that, or do you want to say, no, I don't want to be here right now. I'll wait outside, and then if it hits my target, I missed. Now, that's not the way you do. Usually when the price goes down and you get a bullish pattern with a bullish divergence, that is when you double down. Now, the call is up to you, the money is yours, but if you really want to make money, you do have to learn these stuff on a daily basis, because when you step on and to see whether that short-term chart which showed you a cup and handle is valid, you'll step back, right? Now, at least I would step back and then look at this. So this is a 3-day chart, which is kind of my favorite than daily or weekly. And here, that's on a support, fine. And at the same time, you look at the RSI, it's still trending to the downside, but at a long-term support level. The MACD is still trending down, so that means we're not gonna go sky high. Even if that cup and handle breaks to the upside, that's on a short term, and we may come towards this range. The moving average would be acting as a resistance. Why? The Bitcoin dominance need to go high. So at first, we'll see the movement in Bitcoin, then slowly the alts will follow. That's what we are going to see here in next couple of months. And then if BTC is moving higher, reaching that 50-60,000 mark, XRP is going to reach its recent high. Now that may not sound huge for a lot of guys, but understand, we are still looking at this trend. Now, if this trend is continuing, what are you looking at? You take this number of days and plot it to the upside, you reach somewhere near $6, $7, $8, $9. So from current point, that's 10x. So even if you haven't entered the market and you stepped out and you're like, I don't know what to do, that's an opportunity for you, right? Now, we are among the guys who were in the market all through this. You know, the March 2020 crash, we were in that. SEC crash, we were in that. So we have actually seen 70-80% of drop in XRP, and we were buying. That's why even when the market drops, our portfolio is 3x, 5x, 10x. Why? We took the right decision at the right time in the right assets. Because it's not only about having a lot of assets, it's about buying those assets at the right price. That's why in our Patreon group, we go through a variety of different assets, which shows you this particular asset is an opportunity, this is looking like this, blah, blah, blah. So you get to a point where you can see that that's great. That's a huge opportunity. And if you want to, you can take the benefit of that. So you can join Patreon. The link is given in the description below. Now, let's actually look at a mixture of assets. Now, why do we have to actually look at that? Because I personally feel that's important. Now, why? Say this is XRP, and a lot of guys are kind of XRP haters. They don't understand the space, blah, blah, blah. But you look at this stuff. This is XLM, right? It's showing you something similar in trend. It's also moving to the upside. So it doesn't have that SEC kind of stuff, right? It's still trending to the upside. It's kind of clear. Now, it's just showing you that when the market is showing you this trend, do you want to doubt it? The trend itself, the pattern itself, whether you are a trend-based trader, pattern-based trader, wave-based trader, you have all of this inside, right? Now, that's why we go through in a detailed manner showing you the wave structure, pattern, everything, which we can understand. Right? So if this is your craft, the world is your library, you can go through, read, learn, understand, and improve yourself. And that's why we go through that personal one-on-one sessions to understand what you know, what you don't know. So that now you can learn through this. Say some of these like waves, patterns, analysis, what you can understand, we go through that, right? The personal one-on-one stuff. Now that's important for some because they're trying to make the capital here and move that into different alternative markets to grow that, use that market, low leveraged, but you're gonna still multiply your profits. So if that's your perspective, you need to understand and look at a lot of different assets. It's not just about XRP, right? If people are saying XRP is going down, understand most of them are right now, but the difference is the payment assets are reaching a support and they are showing you the possibility of a double bottom where they're gonna rally. Now if you're gonna miss this, it's completely up to you because that's your decision with your portfolio. But if you are looking for good stuff, great stuff, look and follow us. So guys, if you liked the video and received value for your time, please do support the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.